you should be going.
All right. So welcome back to Oasis Valley Mysteries. It's been a while. Previously, we started off a new mystery as it seems wild endofauna have been running rampant across and underneath Oasis Valley and pestering the people of Redemption. First, there was a group of jack lizards that broke in and helped themselves to a butcher shop. Then a mole tortoise has been digging around, destroyed. So far, the only casualty has been a new jacuzzi and maybe some potholes. But otherwise, it seems to have been mercifully just keeping underground, although that may change. But as another big event for your group is Fred's kids are in town.
The Fredlets.
Not sure how they would feel about that, but the
That's how I feel about that. To be fair,
the kids, Tiffany and Alex, Fred's beloved children, have come to spend time with their dad, and while they, where was I going with that? Yeah, so Fred, you were spending some time with your kids. After getting them settled in, you decided to go get lunch and headed over to the diner where it seems your friend group has an unofficial investigation group. You haven't really discussed all that yet as a group, but you found them all there also having lunch, and
are we a gang?
Perhaps... What?
Are we a gang?
Kinda? Maybe a posse? But
Are you guys my gang?
But and much to Fred's chagrin, your friends decided to maybe lay out a little too much details about your life here in Redemption and how strange
Your
it's
dad
gotten.
is so cool. He doesn't follow the law.
He actively endangers himself.
And
To be
others.
To be fair, it was, hey, I saved these two kids from being eaten by a monster.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here when we have
yeah,
regular monster problems.
No, see, that's the thing. That's what you are all saying. But what Fred hears is, oh God, my kids are going to go home and tell their mother that there are monsters here and I'm never going to see them again.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
That is exactly what Fred is thinking.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you're here, children, with me, where there's giant alligators in the sewers who will eat you?
See, the problem with Fred is it's gone on for longer than 50 seconds where he knows that monsters are real in this world. But, so, yeah, I can't really remember where we left off. Alonzo, you heard
Mosquito.
from... Right. Well, yes, Alex says he came in, said he and the other kids, Rio and Manny, already the trio of them seeming to strike up a friendship, came inside after kind of hanging out in the parking lot, kind of showing off their bikes to him. But when he came in excited, chattering about hearing some kind of large buzzing insect, the twins not really seeming to know what he means, but I was going to say something else.
I was outside looking for the bug.
Yeah, and you didn't really find anything. Just normal insects and arachnids for the area.
Yeah, I saw a parasitoid wasp.
Yep, tarantula hawk taking down a tarantula.
Yeah, and I was immediately concerned.
Cazadors.
But the and
and
also
you saw that what's the kid with the
Well,
Kashka,
no one knows that yet. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
also...
we saw that, not us.
Yeah, that was the stinger.
Yeah,
but
stinger.
the Oh yes, Hanzo, you also heard from your now new partner, at least, hopefully temporarily. And actually, I don't know how you feel about it, but seemingly temporary. While the two of you are both kind of in the doghouse with McLean, you heard from her where was out in the desert investigating a new crime scene where it seems it was two figures were found seemingly attacked by a strange animal attack, perhaps endofauna related. And she would get back to you if there was anything crucial. But for all that, um, was there anything you all wanted to do or had plans for stuff before we move on for the evening?
I do want to. Are Rio and Manny outside?
No, everyone came back in.
Okay. I do want to head in. Are Rio and Manny hanging with Alex, or has Alex rejoined his father?
Yeah, they went back to the booth where they were like having their lunch, and Alex is over chatting with Fred.
Okay, I want to go talk to the kids.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll come over. Hey, kids, how you two holding up?
Oh, look up and look up. Oh, good. What's up?
You doing okay since everything went down?
And the two twins, it's like they don't even look at each other, but they both get that kind of same apprehensive look as they know what you're referring to, but they give nods like better.
Hey, my job's to take care of dangerous animals. So if you guys ever have anything that you're worried about or questions about, honestly, uh, you you guys can ask me. All right?
And they kind of exchange this look. You're not sure what it entails, but then they look back and nod. It's like, okay, yeah.
They can be dangerous sometimes, but some of the creatures in the store from the super organism are really cool, right?
Oh yeah.
Good. All right. Well,
And
go you first.
and one of them laughs, kind of giggles, and they're like, we're hoping Carlos can actually get the ride open again. We keep sneaking in sometimes, and it looks really cool.
Well,
Though
yeah,
Mom
he's
doesn't
been
like the
working on it.
sneaking in.
He's been working on it for a while. Do you want to hear our secret?
And they both gotta perk up, of course. Kids.
I hear he's adding a Sarandra.
Ooh. Oh, like the big thing that Fred, that saved us and Fred.
Yeah. She puts a finger to her lips,
They nod.
Aw. Cute kids.
So, Fred, your kids are just, they seem happy to be hanging out. Alex is chatting away, talking about, random stuff that happened during the school year, stuff back home. But, yeah.
Like a good dad, I'm quiet and let them talk, express themselves, and listen.
Aw.
And, when he goes back to eating a bit, because, he paused eating to go play with the new kids. Seems he's got, still energy wound up from the long bus ride. But, Tiffany, she kind of, she pipes up. She goes, so, I turned 16, so you're going to let me drive the classic, right? Or you're going to teach me to drive it. She corrects herself.
Yeah. I can learn to ride a motorcycle.
And she definitely perks up, but Alex is like, can I ride a motorcycle too?
When you're older, yes.
Okay.
You're getting there, babe.
you
You just legally you can right now.
Yeah, and he nods, and he has that look that kids get when you realize, oh, they were filing that away to bring up years later.
Yeah, that's fine. It'd be real hypocritical of me not to let my kids ride motorcycles when I ride a motorcycle.
Right. So, but
And your roommate rides a motorcycle.
mhm. And Tiff, she's just
Well, my roommate drinks blood. I can't exactly let my kids live by my roommate's standards.
That's that's actually a good question, Sarah. Is it like, do vampires age normally?
No. They kind of get locked into the age they were when they turned.
Oh God, am I going to be in a potential relationship with somebody who's going to outlive me?
I mean, that's a potential of most relationships.
Okay, but you know what I mean. Vampire.
Yeah. Warren, what was that about, Warren?
It's the Orin Magoria life where, you and your lover are both technically the same age, but one of you stopped aging decades ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Oh, oh God, I love in the original, What We Do in the Shadows movie, when he's like introducing his girlfriend, and she's like, she's 97, and I know, she's way too young for me or whatever. And then she's just this nice old lady.
Yeah, he turns her when she's a nice old lady, so she's eternally 90.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
What We Do in the Shadows is great, both the movie and the TV series.
Mm-hmm.
I should stream that sometime. I'm pretty sure I have it on DVD, not Blu-ray, because I don't think there's been a Blu-ray release.
Can't remember. Did the trio from the movie show up in the TV show at one point? I'm pretty sure they did.
At least two of them have. Both Jermaine Clement's vampire and Taika Waititi's vampire show up a couple of times.
Yeah, I think for the Vampire Council.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a series I need to catch up on. But anyways, yeah. So yeah. Well, right, Tiffany. She was talking about the cars. She goes, I know Mom always gave you crap about the and her dropping a swear makes Alex giggle, but she ignores it. She goes, she always gave you crap about the classic, but I always thought it was cool.
How long have you had that thing, Brad?
The classic?
Yeah.
Well, since I was 16, yeah. Saved up for it myself.
Whistles. You kept that thing in good shape.
I mean, about as good a shape as I got it in.
I mean, it functions.
It is a moving vehicle.
I have a question about 16-year-old Fred.
No.
Yeah.
Did he have the mustache even then?
No, because teenage boys struggle severely with facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
You say this.
Patchy.
You say this.
There are outliers, yes.
I knew a kid.
There are outliers.
One of my brother's
Fred
friends.
is not one of them.
That's fair. One of my brother's friends, I saw him between middle school and his freshman year of high school, and sometime in that summer, he grew a full beard and mustache.
My experience as a teenage boy with teenage boys is that every teenage boy who tried to grow facial hair just had a period of several months where they looked like a half-transformed wolf man.
So true.
Who were finally giving up. Like it was a notable thing when someone was able to grow like a beard or a mustache in college. It's like, oh, finally, this shit's actually coming in the way it should, as opposed to just in this patchwork awful fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And I grew a beard, and I grew a beard and gave myself dysphoria.
Oh.
Yeah, I was until my heavily in my 20s that I was finally able to grow an actual full beard and stuff. Even then, it doesn't grow that long. Anyways,
Death to beards.
Some people enjoy them.
Anyway, yeah,
yes,
impressive that you've got it. You've kept it running all this time.
Yeah.
Do you do you know how to fix cars, Fred?
A little bit. I mean, generally when there's problems, I take it to a mechanic because don't have the time to do it myself, and it's going to cost a lot either way. But I mean, I can do an oil change.
You have been learning motorcycle repair with Winifred.
Yeah, I feel like Fred's probably very, actually pretty skilled with mechanical shit. But he's also not a person to brag.
Yeah, he's downplaying it.
Yeah,
Fred is many things, but he is not a prideful man.
Yeah, Fred.
I don't think his luck lets him be.
What?
Wow.
I don't think his luck lets him be a prideful man.
I don't think his luck lets him be a man with self-esteem.
If he dares, the universe smacks him down.
Yeah,
That's the way it should be.
His kids still think he's pretty cool. But so
there's kids. That's a impressive on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, 16-year-old girl going, she probably has own friends that she'd probably, like to be hanging out with, but she's being a good sport. She seems happy. But anyways, getting too much talking, not enough playing. I don't mean dialogue. I mean tangent talking. Sorry.
Gotcha.
So, let's see, Hanzo. I think you're still at your place.
I was
Carlos
hanging out at the diner with everyone.
Oh, right.
Here.
He pointedly, unlike everyone else, is not trying to hype up Fred.
Hey, we stopped. We stopped when it was made clear to us not to.
Oh, also, Olivia, you did invite Fred and his kids to a wrestling match.
Oh yeah.
But
the luchador. Oh, Fred and the luchador.
So you all have a nice lunch, kind of teasing Fred, learning a bit more about the kids and where they come from. I mean, Carlos, is there anything you wanted to chime in with, or just chilling?
Just chilling.
Okay, I don't want to exclude anybody. I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
Gray.
Okay, sorry.
You with us, Gray?
I'm here.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear anything. So, I was just trying to make sure. So, I guess we can move on from here, unless there is something else someone wanted to chime in with. But let's see.
What else do you have planned for your kids? So
That kind of.
Fred?
Sorry. What was the question at me?
Well, yeah. What have you got planned to do with your kids while they're here? Besides dinner and
well, today I figured mostly we'd settle in, maybe go out to some places if my kids have something in, but they just took a very long car ride, bus ride. So I'm assuming you guys want to just rest up after a point.
If he kind of nods, although Alex is I'm I'm good. You know,
Then he says before yawning and rubbing his eyes.
maybe yeah, he might take a nap before for going out for dinner, but he's 11. He's not really going to admit it.
Yeah, hence the I'm good, then yawned.
But
Alright. Well, you kids have fun. I'm gonna head out.
okay. And
I've got a vampire to check on.
they kind of, they look at you. You see one of the patrons of the diner kind of like look over, like what? And you see a very groggy looking vampire that's probably having the equivalent of the night shift.
Oh
It's like, huh?
no!
Before going back and sipping their blood coffee.
Oh, she wants to go check on herself.
Blood coffee. That Laffy toffee.
Ugh. Blood toffee.
Ugh. I mean, hey, you made this world. You
Yeah.
did this.
But so where are you heading, Olivia?
He just wants to see how Itzel's doing. It's a slow day.
Okay, she is a vampire, so she's probably asleep.
Oh right, it's morning, isn't it?
It's like noonish.
Okay, then strike that. I'm gonna go get something for Itzel and then go see Itzel.
Okay, later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Carlos, you just heading to the diner, or you got working up more on the machine?
Working more on the machine.
Okay. And Hans, I guess you're just gonna wait until dinner time then, right?
Waiting for anything that might interrupt his day off.
Okay. And I'm just going around seeing what people are doing. So, and then Tommy, just chilling again.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember. Speaking of motorcycle repair, Tommy, I can't remember if you have or haven't worked with Itzel on the bike that you took from Texas.
Not yet.
Okay. So yeah, and Fred, eventually, your kids do, they finish up and they seem ready to head back, rest up for the day or relax. But you can tell Alex is a little more tired than he was letting on. But sorry, I'm fumbling.
You're fine.
You're good. It has been like a couple weeks since we began this, so
Yeah, you're all good.
you just gotta get your brain to reactivate.
That's admittedly the hard part for most people, though.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brain, you need to start using. You need to start braining.
I'm just worried about it not being fun. So
You're doing fine.
yeah, pay your tabs, pay your bills, and split up.
Mm-hmm.
You head back home, or I guess Olivia, what are you doing?
Yeah, so she's gonna go run some errands and then just pick up the morning coffee for Itzel.
Mm-hmm.
Then something that Itzel likes to eat.
Okay. And
What does it like to eat?
I can't remember. I think we said you might have had the day off from the preserve, or
Yeah, it was a day off. That's why I was at the.
okay.
That's
Do
why I
you
was here
swing
so
by
early.
your place at any point?
Yeah.
Okay. You would see that your answering machine, you do have, it's like blinking. It's showing that you have a message waiting.
Oh god, am I getting called in my day off? I should go over and press the button.
And it's like you have 2 new messages,
Oh, two.
and the first one's just an ad, like advertising. You skip it, delete it.
Yeah.
It's like,
she
would you like
listens
to?
to it. She listens to it all the way through to make sure there's nothing weird because she has become aware
Yeah,
that
no,
weird shit
it's
is happening in her life.
yeah, it's straight up just advertisement stuff. I can't remember like what kind of.
No,
But
it's not
anyways,
that there's nothing there, but Olivia
no,
checked.
it's a very mundane message. It might have even just been like, but the second one is you hear a familiar voice go, "Hey, Olivia, Sheila," and she goes, "Swung by the preserve because I need to chat with you. They said you weren't in, and so just when you get a chance, maybe call me back at the the news office, or swing by if you can. I'd like to." My phone's being a dick, and I need to talk to you.
Oh,
Reach out to me when you can. And the hangs up.
Olivia's like, what else is new?
So Sheila would like to
Well,
talk to you at some point. She sounded more annoyed than like
in
rushed.
danger or anything?
Yeah. But you do remember that she did run in both the newspaper and probably was credited for the news report on the TV news, but she was the one there on the scene when at the mole tortoise scene, and uh, uh, Agent Wakefield and some of the other pluripotent people there seemed very annoyed at her presence.
I'll give her a call.
Okay, so yeah, she would have left her work number. Oh wait, no, I think you exchanged numbers, and that was one of the numbers you could reach her at. So it rings a bit, and you get transferred to her desk, and she goes, "Hello." Oh, hold on. I can't remember what the newspaper is called.
Falcon Lake Witness.
No, that's the
Teenager. Well, not teenager, but
yeah, that's the independent one. Oh yeah,
Carlos' friends.
oh yeah. She, God, this is why I can never remember. Channel 50 News, Sheila.
Yeah, I'm looking. This is Sheila Riggy.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Olivia.
No, she's like putting on a voice at first.
Oh, hey, yes.
I heard that you were looking for somebody.
There's a pause.
Somebody with a certain set of skills.
Olivia? Is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
It's been a quiet day. I had to get a kick somewhere.
Oh, well. At least someone's having a quiet day.
What's up? Woman's being an ass.
Yeah, that lady that was there at the trailer park hanging out with your boy Hanzo.
Hanzo's new partner, yeah.
Yeah, she decided to swing by and pay us a visit after we ran our article, and Thornton's real not happy at me. Me in particular. I heard my name being mentioned when she was in talking to the chief editor, or whatever position the Perry White character would have.
I think that's it. Drug.
Or the J. Jonah basically the J. Jonah Jameson of the news. But
yeah.
So she's just like, so.
What? Are you fun? You rough someone up?
No, although I'm sure you could do that for me, and I'll keep that in mind since you seem so willing to offer that so quickly. But no, it's I was thinking I might be able to. Well, you seem to be on good terms with Hanzo, and he seems a bit Um, uh, oh yeah, its answering machines are full on cassette tapes at this point.
Oh God, yeah.
But she goes, well, Hanzo seems a little more friendly. Well, maybe not friendly, but less aggressive.
He's chill.
Yeah, um, scarily chill. But the wondering if you might be able to, keep me informed if there were some other incidences such as a super endofauna or strangeness. It's just I could really use the inn, and honestly, I want to stick it to him just a little bit more now.
um, as long as you keep my name off of things,
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
normal,
do wish
normal and
reserve.
fucking anonymity, and not anonymity.
Good, good. Uh, yeah, I think I can do that. If I hear anything weird going on.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, even if you don't hear from pluripotent, you being animal control, I
Yeah,
figure you
I
probably.
go out on this stuff all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Um, the yeah, it's just that would be a big help.
Yeah, I can do that.
Excellent.
Um, in exchange.
Oh, should have seen this coming. What's up?
Okay, no, it's nothing serious. Honestly, I've looked into things and haven't found much information. But have you ever heard of an old luchador, El Chupacabra?
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen like old posters up. He's before I think he retired before I came to Redemption.
Yeah. If you when you get the chance, can you like look into him, them, whatever?
Oh, like our news archive.
Yeah.
You know what? I could maybe do you a little favor and let you in so you can look through the microfiche yourself because that will be time consuming and I'll let that be, the payment for, the favor for that.
Fair deal.
Okay. So yes, just let me know if you hear anything. I'm going
Right, I
to
will.
go see what this is. I heard about some well, you didn't hear this from me considering it's supposed to be an active crime and scene investigation, but my received a tip that there might be some another group of smugglers just got taken out in the desert outside of town.
Another group of smugglers?
Yeah, that's I, got an anonymous tip uh, saying that possible drug smugglers were hit, a hit or something. You know, might be something there for it.
Yeah. Rob, thank you. I'll any idea where?
um, yes, but I don't think I should tell you. So,
Fair enough, fair enough.
so you stay safe. Watch out for rattlesnakes or scorpions or whatever it is that are you deal with.
Really?
Okay, yes, I know you deal with big birds. Okay, good luck with the emu.
My God.
And click. She might have heard about um Jeremy the emu.
Oh God. The emu that turns out almost killed a weretype scene.
No, no, no. You keep mixing those up.
God damn
Jeremy
it, I
is
do.
modern day regular emu who is just a dick. He keeps getting out. His owner is like neglectful or not neglectful, but might be a little absent minded sometimes, or he Jeremy just might be that smart. He knows how to open up gates. And the Moa, the Moa just seems to have beef with Tommy for, instinctive reasons, now that you realize.
Oh my god.
Like, that's why that was one of the big hints. Tommy's BRB'd right now, but that was one of the hints that, the Australian bird doesn't like the Australian marsupial.
Fuck. How dare you?
Oh yeah, me and Shady had a great time just like dropping little hints. Like, it's one of the good things about running a game online is I can hide my, I don't have to poker face it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so
I hope she
hmm?
doesn't print the part about me having trouble with a bird.
Yeah, you're a bat being bullied by a bird.
Hey, bullying
Anyways.
implies that there's no back and forth.
Yeah. Anyways, so I guess we could do a little skip. There's nothing really
Yeah.
of importance at the moment, so Hanzo, Fred, y'all ready?
I've been
Yeah.
looking forward to this.
What, months? So, evening starts rolling around. You guys had a nice hearty lunch, but eventually the kids start saying they're hungry again. Actually, Winifred, if you want, this would be around sunset if you want to wake up and come meet the kids. You hear chatter and stuff. It seems they might be like watching TV as you wake up and start stirring.
Yeah, they probably won't hear me until I open the door, and even probably not even then. So she's just gonna stand in the doorway, like a creeper in her own house.
Now, the funnier thing would be like you wake up and be like, "Who are you people? And how did you get in here?"
Well, Fred did tell her that his kids were coming today.
No,
so
I know,
she's
but
like,
just like just to fuck around.
Go full Nosferatu.
Flicker the lights.
God damn it, Alita.
Good evening.
What's your sister doing?
She must be eating Chinese because she sent me a picture of her fortune, which just says you will have a successful bake sale.
What?
So save
Color
that
said
for
that
the
was
next
off.
time there's a bake sale needing to be done.
What the fuck? Alright.
That's such an oddly specific fortune.
That fucking threw me
Yeah.
off. Sorry. Okay, let me get back on track.
Oh, you're good.
So she'll stand there in the
yeah,
doorway for just a second and then go, "Hey."
So Fred, what kind of God? I don't know 80s, 90s anime. You're probably watching something about the kids.
Yeah.
And
let me just make sure that this is where I think it is.
because we're
watching a record of Lodos War.
Hey, hell
Safe.
yeah!
That one's safe. Okay.
nice. Yeah,
That is a kid.
and
Mainly because it reminds Fred of fucking Lord of the Rings, and like the 80s fantasy movies he would have grown up with, or the the 70s fantasy movies. He probably loved the fucking Rankin Bass animated specials.
Oh yeah, probably. Was he? Did he enjoy Willow?
Yeah, he would have loved Willow.
So, yeah, the kids are into it. Both of them are enjoying it, but there is like a slight jump from them both when Winifred speaks, and they turn to look, and Alex is wide-eyed and, like surprised, or just like staring wide-eyed as Tiffany has that like teenage girl suspicious look for a moment, like, oh, this is who my dad's roommate is. But but she's a polite kid, so it passes, and she kind of gives a little wave. She goes, "Hey."
She waves back and goes, like, okay, so I don't know what the rules and stuff are. She stutters over stuff, clearly about to say shit. When you run into the roommate of your dad, but if you want to, like, not pay attention to the fact that I'm here and just interact with your dad, that's totally cool. If you want to talk to me, sure. I'm not interesting, though. She's gonna walk past them all into the kitchen.
Saying that would just make them more interested, right?
She doesn't know how to interact with children. She hasn't interacted with children for about 200 years or so.
Given the mini you made for Winifred, they're probably gonna look at all that gaudy 80s neon and be like, no.
To be fair, it's Gotti's 90s neon.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're gonna look at them and be like, no.
No, it's
No.
the 90s, PTs. They're going to love it.
I was a kid in the 90s. I don't know. I don't think that kind of neon outfit was really for children,
No, it definitely wasn't, because they couldn't afford it. Winifred is aware of this. She also does not care. She doesn't care about adults judging her fashion. Why should she care about children?
Respect, Winifred, respect.
So they seem Alex seems kind of shy around the new vampire lady, but Tiffany's nice and polite. Yeah.
She's just in her kitchen. She opens the fridge and drinks. She opens the fridge that she specifically got to make so she doesn't contaminate Fred's human food with blood.
Mm-hmm.
Drinks out of the bottle and then puts it back.
Like a
one of these little bastards is going to drink it. You just know one of them is going to drink it just to find out.
They're going to fuck around and find out, and it's not going to be great.
No, it's going to be awful.
I know, I've had large amounts of blood in my mouth. It does not taste fantastic. No, I'm not going to explain that either, so...
You think a vampire's sense of taste atrophies after a while?
Probably.
I mean, it depends on the canon, but generally it changes.
Yeah.
That's what the bowling alley I went to on my birthday looked like.
Excellent.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
As all bowling alleys should be.
Yeah.
Bowling
It feels
alleys.
wrong when they aren't.
Yeah, bowling alleys, arcades, anywhere with games.
Mm-hmm.
Get games on your phone.
It's a fun carpet for a fun place.
Mm-hmm.
I did see someone make a suit one time out of that same pattern, or like the carpet pattern.
Jeez.
It's like, or I've seen one where it's also like the Hawaiian shirt kind of fit, where it's like with that pattern, it's like, okay, yeah, I'd wear that.
Must have been Winifred's cousin.
Yeah. Do you think Winifred doesn't have like a suit like that in her closet somewhere?
Yeah,
it's good for it's camouflage for the bowling alley.
You never know when you need to eat a man.
She stalks the bowling alleys instead of the alleyways. What the fuck?
Yeah, for the... In case the Big Lebowski is there, you're gonna eat him.
God damn it. Alright.
Oh no, you wouldn't eat the dude, you'd eat Walter. Walter's the
Walter.
That's what I mean. Look for the Big Lebowski to find Walter.
You can't kill the dude.
Alright. Do you
Although
think,
Walter's not hard to find, he's very loud.
So, do you think Winifred would have like work today after she woke up? Because we haven't established if she's been going into work for, you know,
I've
the
been
sake
kind
of
of like doing
brevity.
it. Yeah, I mean, nah, I think today would be like one of your days off. It kind of synced up nicely with like Fred's kids showing up.
Okay.
But also, it's also kind of the thing. I don't really, unless there's a plot reason to have you be at work, I just kind of like hand wave it.
Yeah, for the sake of brevity, it's assume
Yeah.
that we go to work sometimes. We just don't show it because it's a game.
Yeah. I mean, although to be fair, Carlos being, the proprietor of like the main hangout spot is kind of an outlier. Also, Hanzo's job being part of his class is also an outlier.
Carlos, Hanzo are an outlier and should
my
not
job
be
all
counted.
the time.
Well, yes, yours is also plot relevant. I should say that. But yours, Winifred, there will be points where, because like you have been, we have shown you down there. I know that for a game set above a superorganism, we have spent an alarmingly little amount of time in the superorganism, and I do hope to get better at that.
It's ooey gooey in there.
It's
It's almost like
mysterious.
it's a big deal to be inside of it.
We have enough to take care of outside of, with the things that are getting out of it.
I'm
Yeah,
sure at
yeah.
some point one of us will be dropped deep down, irretrievably deep inside it, and then we'll be stuck there forever.
You gotta crawl out, replace your eyes with something else's. It's a whole ordeal.
Okay.
What?
It'll be full-on Maiden Abyss down there.
So then I guess Winifred would come back into the living room and sit on her own like reclining chair while the rest of them are in the couch.
I'm just imagining tiny Winifred and this giant lazy boy.
That's what it is. She wants to be comfy. It's comfy.
She likes to be tall.
She is tall, actually. She's one of the only characters I have that isn't tiny, barring Hal. So she'll just sit there and like it's kind of like the stereotypical picture of a middle-aged white guy sitting there and watching the football game with a beer in his hand and his lazy boy. That's what's happening right now.
But it's a vampire Viking with a bottle of blood watching anime.
Watching anime.
I'm a vampire fucking with a bottle of blood watching anime.
And she looks at Fred and goes, "Good, you picked one of my recommendations and not one of the ones from the store guy."
I like this one
from Tiffany, and Alex is like, "Oh, were the ones from the suggested ones not good?" Yeah.
The suggested ones from the store guy.
Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, Legend of the Overfiend did look a little risque.
Winifred just kind of pinches the bridge of her nose and goes, "Yeah, risque. We'll call it that."
So, you have a good time chatting about the anime. The kids, it takes a little bit, but they eventually warm up to you. That takes a bit for kids to warm up to a new person, I guess. But
while we are watching the anime, she will offhandedly mention that there is gaming consoles underneath the TV. You just got to pull out the drawer. Which
and
ones are
Alex
fucking
is like
available?
immediately like goes to kneel down and start looking at it, looking at him.
Video game consoles. I gotta figure out which ones were available because my brain is not.
I know.
I think we would have the Super NES.
Yeah, and she would have
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
She would have all of them probably. So it's 1993, right?
92.
Like fucking Chrono Trigger.
TT discovering.
Oh, damn it, we can't play Chrono Trigger.
Not out yet.
Not out yet.
Not yet.
Game.
Yeah, so yeah, we would have the Super Nintendo at least, but not.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of RPGs.
Alex is definitely excited about that. That idea. And
Oh
yeah,
no!
so
Philip released the CDI.
Oh no!
I don't think she would have that one. It's fine. We'll just ignore that.
Fred's favorite.
I hope not. I would have to kill him.
Yeah, I'd say you have a good time hanging out with them. The kids seem to warm up to you over over an hour or so, or however long it takes. But Fred, you realize the time. It's about getting close to the time you're supposed to meet Hanzo.
You know what they could be playing? The OG Final Fantasy.
Ooh.
And you know what? I say we are, because I've played that game and it's fucking fun, even if it's clunky.
It is fun, actually.
Yeah, I played it. I played the remake on like one of the Game Boy systems. Or DS,
I
can't remember.
played the original on an emulator in college before playing a remake later.
Yeah.
And they were similar enough where I feel the remake was pretty much just the same experience, and I played that all the way to the end. But like the OG, I loved it, even if it's clearly dated and simplistic by modern standards.
It's also,
So yeah, we're playing fucking Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's also super jank, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I know how
Let's
children
see.
are. There's nothing that bonds you to children other than playing video games with them.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the same for adults. Honestly.
That's why Let's Plays
So-
are popular.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to thinking in my head on what to do next, so I'm not excluding everyone.
You're moving the chess pieces around. Fine.
Yeah.
You can say that the time for Hanzo's dinner with Fred is coming up, so they're going to get ready for that, and we can move to somebody.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to think of. Well, I'm being a bad DM. I forgot to have other stuff planned
No, it's okay.
until after.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Okay. So you kids eventually Fred, you and the kids get ready. You pile up into the classic and start heading down to Little Japan. Hanzo.
Yes.
So you're waiting. Did you do anything in preparation, or are you just chilling?
He was just chilling. Nothing remarkable.
Okay. And there's a point where maybe you're just kind of driving when your phone rings, the car phone.
He'll pick it up.
And yeah, he goes, "Hey, Hanzo, it's Johanna.
Go ahead.
So, just keeping you updated. Talking to Detective. I'm handling it with Detective Bentley right now, but I know you had something important planned for the evening. But If you get it wrapped up before it's too late, there is something I could, want to catch you up on, this tech out in the desert. It's showing signs of being an endofauna attack. So we're bringing the bodies in, but also heard back from McLean that we're to check in tomorrow with Pluripotent. We're to go talk to one of the docs who was investigating who checked out the jackal lizards we caught. Something's off about them, but they're doing more tests. Apparently, they're doing more tests overnight, but they want to consult with us. But other than that, nothing too big has developed. Still no sign of the tortoise. Although I did check in, and there have been reports of faint tremors, so it's probably still burrowing around somewhere down there. Thankfully, it seems it hasn't hit any power or water mains yet.
Not much to do about that until it does.
Yeah. And honestly, if it does take something out, that might help us track it down faster, honestly. But you know what they're saying. We gotta ensure their public knowledge of these incidents are as quiet as possible. So just another reminder from McLean. We have to be subtle about this case.
Hard to be subtle when the quarry in question is a turtle.
Sorry, what was that, Hanzo? I couldn't hear you over the cackling.
Sorry.
Yes.
It's okay.
Well, hopefully Director McLean understands how hard it is to be subtle when the quarry in question is a turtle the size of a truck.
I arose the same point with him, and I get the sense he understands completely, but it's more that we are all feeling the pressure from above, even him.
Yes, the director means well, but our superiors are expecting miracles.
Well, I guess when they have miracles workers under their employ, they expect everyone to be. Gives a chuckle at that, but she goes, "Well, won't keep you too long. I'm pulling up to a coroner's now. Keep you updated if anything comes about."
Very good.
She hangs up.
Rude.
Mm-hmm. No.
What do you mean rude?
I'm just kidding.
Klutzman, would you, to save on gas, would you like Hanzo to pick you up?
Yeah, it works for me.
That means the kids will get to be riding around in the Pluripotent car. And have to listen to his music.
They'd probably love it, though.
Alex will love it.
Yeah, so you pull up, and when I'm afraid you'd probably hear him before he even calls or anything, or knocks. But
she recognizes both the sound of his car and the sound of the music in the car. She'll look up and go, "Oh, here he comes."
And the kids look at you in confusion for a second, and then a few seconds later, there's a knock at the door as Hanzo, you arrive.
Mm-hmm.
So.
This fucking song, though.
You'll do the pleasantries.
This fucking Persona 4 dancing all night music that we've got going on here.
Mm-hmm. You'll do the pleasantries and usher Fred and the kids to the car.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
I'll save your
and-
progress.
Just hand the controller over. But yeah, you pile into the car. The kids seem surprised when you start it up and the music starts, but they seem into it. Tiffany, in particular, is like she actually seems to like kind of recognize it. She's like, oh, is this from this song isn't. This is a McLeod thing, but she's like, oh, and she doesn't get the band right, but you do recognize it as a Japanese band. So she knows some stuff, but it seemed more just like a blind guess of something she knew.
So it seems like she has more information than the general weeb of the time.
Yeah.
I can see her doing the teenage girl groove in the back seat.
Go,
Oh,
white
yeah.
girl, go.
Yeah. Aw.
Go,
Aw.
white girl, go.
And
Because I'm doing it
so-
in my chair.
So yeah, you drive out. Kids seem to enjoy it. Or, they do enjoy it. It's a nice, clear evening. You don't even really need the AC going. You just even having the windows cracked is enough for nice breeze. So yeah, you head down to the Little Japan part of town. And you pull up to this one, or feel free to chat if you want.
I'm curious if any questions are lobbied at Hanzo, because otherwise he does not offer small talk.
Oh, I'm sure the kids do, but I'm horrible at thinking what a kid would say.
Mhm.
So there would
Fun.
be. Okay, yeah, there probably would be a question like that eventually from Alex.
Yeah, that's why it's.
To think
But-
like a kid does. Think of whatever question you have that you stop yourself from asking because it's insensitive or rude, and just let it fly.
Mhm.
They have no self-awareness and will not give a shit if they hurt your feelings.
Yeah, so yeah, Alex is just he's asking you questions like, so did you live in Japan?
I'm an immigrant, yes.
Cool. He just goes on this this tangent. Tiffany will occasionally ask about random stuff. But
While he is indulging the children, his face remains stone, no matter what the fucking context is.
Yeah.
He does not. He's not very emotive.
and he's a
Oh,
dutiful
man.
driver.
It's
Yeah.
fine. He is emotive, just not in the stereotypical way.
Yeah, he has resting bitch face. And how does poor Fred feel about this little situation?
Um,
There we are.
it's kind of just focusing on his kids.
Mm-hmm.
His son's getting to get some actual experience with a person from the culture that he's fond of. Hopefully, he doesn't put his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, there probably is a once or twice he does, but there's no malice in this kid. He's just a kid who hasn't had all the information yet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
12-year-old.
He's a
Or
curious
11.
12-year-old.
Yeah. If they ask any questions about what Hanzo's job is, I will answer.
Yeah, and okay, yeah. So Tiffany would be like, so you work for a player potent too? What do you do?
Security.
I
It's
killed.
not not the same security that I do. You know, I guard the museum. He's more of the exciting stuff.
And Alex is like, "Oh, you're a bodyguard?"
Not really, no. Bodyguard would imply that I stick to one person. I keep my ear to the ground. I'm a general public servant, if you will.
Oh. Alex is like, "Oh, that doesn't sound interesting." Kind of reply, but Tiffany has this like, "Oh, that's." She's like old enough to be like, "That is some specific double talk." She's just like,
That's
Wow.
strangely ominous.
that's strangely non-committal." But and then actually, I think that would be when Alex would go, "So, do you have a gun?"
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Can I shoot it? Look, I was a kid once. Come on.
Yeah.
I imagine most people were children
yeah,
once.
Yeah, most people.
Not me.
Except for that one thing I saw on Tumblr where that woman is like, children are horrible things. I'm glad I never was one.
Man, I think you have a different problem.
I was
Yeah.
made down here in a tube.
Carnagore for real.
That or Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That is still just a funny joke. It's like, so, you were born. It's like your mom had you. She's like, yep. She went down to the beach, made me out of clay. Gods gave me life. And they're like, oh, so that's what your mom told you how it works? And she goes, no, that's how it works. I understand sex and reproduction. That's just how it worked for me.
Oh, amazing. Yes.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Unless Sarah says otherwise, that's the next question. Can I shoot it?
yeah, probably would have asked that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if Fred would have like taken him shooting or anything by that
No.
point.
No, Fred's not a violent man.
Ooh, I have one.
Hmm.
Have you killed a man?
Like, remember, Fred does not have an actual lethal weapon. He has a cricket bat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So actually, I don't know if he would ask if he had killed a man, but he would go, "Have you shot anybody?" And Tiffany like reaches over, smacks him on the shoulder. He's like, "You can't just ask somebody if he shot someone."
Trying to out of character, trying to think of how to put it tactfully.
Kids, he hasn't. He's just a guy like me, you know.
Dad, have you shot somebody?
I tasered somebody once.
They try to climb into one of the exhibits.
They were going after the flags.
Buddy, I can't fuck it.
What?
Thank you for knowing where I was going with that.
I don't want to know. All right.
It's a drill post.
Working at the Betsy Ross Museum, guy asked me if he can fuck the flag. Buddy, they won't even let me fuck it. That's the line.
You know, I said
Yeah.
I was good.
Well, now you're
You
even
need-
better.
Yeah, you need the culture.
That is literally like a foundational bit of internet humor.
The culture.
Mhm.
Yeah. So to answer the question, then definitely is like, as have I ever shot anybody? It's like, my job is to protect people.
Oh, that sounds cool. He's and you get the sense he's suddenly imagining you as like some Secret Service guy because
yeah.
wait, are you in like your civilian stuff? Because if you're in like your work uniform, you do look like a Secret Service guy.
He's dressed very plainly for this afternoon. He's off work, but he still doesn't change how he conducts himself. Plus, plain black car.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I'm sorry, but Hanzo can't turn that off.
corporate plates.
Mhm.
Yeah, you. So they seem to have a good time, or Alex has a good time chatting with you, while Tiffany has that like older sibling mortification look for part of it. Like, oh my god, I can't believe my sibling is bold enough to say that out loud. I'm so mortified, kind of.
Mhm.
Which I'm the eldest of four. I know how that feels. So, um, but yeah, you eventually pull into this parking lot of this building, and um, it's a decently busy night, I guess. Uh, it's not like packed, but when you go into this you pull up to this place called Mifune Steakhouse,
Mhm.
and nice, very decorated doors. You open it up, and both the kids go, "Whoa!" In their respective ways, as the kind of the waiting room area where you see some people sitting and waiting. Actually, oh yeah, you see there is just one wall. It's a very large aquarium, and there's koi fish swimming around it. You even see some red ear sliders dipping up and down in it, and it's just Alex is immediately enraptured. He goes over to look at it as you go, and um, he had a reservation.
Mhm.
Good
So
lord.
yeah, it's a very
He blew these
classy
kids'
place.
minds.
It's a fairly classy place, huh?
He just blew these kids' minds.
Oh yeah, and it's a very fancy looking aquarium. Definitely a lot of money goes into it. And these are some very fancy koi. But Alex, you eventually peel them away as you're led to a table, since you only have to wait a few minutes for the reservation and the table to open up. But you go sit down, and you're handed your menus, the given some water, and yeah, you're in this very fancy steakhouse. Not like high society, but still, this is like Fred. You're like, oh, I feel a little underdressed, even though it's a lot of people are dressed casually. It's just this place is very nice.
Just that feeling of, yeah, I'm too poor to be here. Probably had that a lot when he was with his wife because as a high level CEO, she probably did take him to a lot of fancy restaurants, which he
Hmm.
never quite felt up to par to be in.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
but the kids are both very, they're both like taken with the place. They're looking around. They seem excited by it, and I guess you'd be in like a little booth table, because it's just the
Mhm.
four of you.
Yeah. He's just. I'm thinking maybe he'll like point out recommendations on the menu in case they're not terribly familiar with like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? And he'll as they asked, he will explain what each one is, just kind of break it down simply for them to understand.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
oh, that's just a fancy way of saying fish and rice and stuff.
they are very excited to try. Alex, it takes a while for him to decide on something, but when he does, it's something very meat heavy. And but Tiffany, she's a little more balanced. She gets you know a I'm suddenly blanking on like meals and stuff. She gets a more balanced meal, but Yeah. And yeah, that you with the waters you get a little thing of green tea as well, like a teapot of it. And Tiffany's happy to have some. Alex, uh, she's
I
like,
can
"Hey,
relate.
Alex,
It's
you
an
should try
acquired
some."
taste.
And he goes,
Oh God.
and Alex is just like, "Okay." And he goes, "It's really hot." And he does a sip, and he's just like, makes this face of just like, "Oh no, it's bitter, no." And he goes back for his soda.
Hmm.
Aw. God, these are cute kids.
His face doesn't change. Like, he doesn't like have very many facial expressions, but his eyes do kind of soften a little bit. Of it's like it feels nice to do a favor for somebody.
Yeah. And you have some appetizers show up. Of course, Alex is, you know, going in on them, and it's like maybe filling himself up a little much before dinner. But growing kids, they're like empty pits.
Hmm.
But like, God, my nephew, he's only. Oh wait, he turned 8 yesterday. Um, yeah, that kid. God, he eats so much, and it's just like, was I like that? And my mom's like, yes.
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 It is remarkable what we could once put away.
Uh huh.
Uh,
But so you know, both kids are having a good time. How you doing, Fred?
Good. First of all, food's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, the main course hasn't arrived yet, but these are very good appetizers.
Yeah, and Hanzo is, like he said, he is treating Fred. He will be footing the bill. He doesn't spend much of his money on anything, so he can take it.
And
Yeah,
most importantly, the kids seem very happy.
Of course.
oh,
Thanks, Hanzo.
No problem. I am curious. Is this also one of those? Even if we're not currently sitting at one, is this one of them hibachi steakhouses?
no, they do have an actual like kitchen. This isn't a hibachi where they cook at the table. They'll bring you your orders.
When I was growing up, there was a hibachi place we used to go to, and I was a little menace. In the sense of I had been there enough, and then the chef was looking at me with great humor in his voice. It's like, you gotta stop stealing my jokes, little man.
oh,
Yeah, I've myself only been to one of those kind of places once in my life, and it was for a birthday dinner because I was like, I want to try go there. I've never been there.
I think my favorite thing I saw was they did a onion volcano.
Oh yeah, they did that too. That was fun. Um, so as you're having a good time, you've placed your orders for your main order, and you're just waiting. Um, so like I said, it's decently busy. It's not like a packed night, so there's a couple of empty tables around, but there's other families or couples having dinner. You even see what look to be maybe like some business people that are there for like having dinner as they're chatting. Um, you know, because you would have noticed this, Hanzo, and even Fred, when you were working at Torpon. There have been more like business suits kind of showing up. With the whole talk of revitalization and reopening and stuff. So there's been a lot more like corporate business suit types wandering around town, and it seems this is like one of the kind of a decently popular place for it.
let's
But
see.
Hmm?
No, don't worry about it.
and
The
Hanzo,
communist within Nora was stirring.
No. My oh no, the seat is too nice. Senses are tingling.
That's
and
nonsense.
nonsense. pure nonsense. Why would you ever say such a thing?
I'm a
So-
TM too.
Yeah, and Hanzo, maybe it's just you're just like instinct of having to deal with dangerous situations. But there is a bit where you realize, wait, someone's watching us, and you look over, and there's just this guy kind of like mean mugging you from slightly across the way. It looks to be, Japanese. There are a lot of, Japanese descent people here. But he's just kind of like, he's kind of looking at you like he's trying to place your face.
He's not going to draw attention to it. He just wants a nice time for Fred and the kids. He's not going to alarm him for no good reason.
Yeah, because this guy, he's like kind of standing up. He's not sitting at a table. It looked like he was like walking maybe to or from the bathroom when he spotted you and stopped. Kind of how you notice him in the first place. He's just, of a place sitting down eating, there's just this one guy not walking around, just kind of staring at you. He's dressed nicely. It's not, he looks like he's, other than, like a scar that goes across his cheek, he just looks like look like he could be like a typical business guy.
There's so many red flags.
Hey, it's like, that's awfully presumptuous of you, Nora. He could have just lost a fight with some stairs as a child.
I am just a typical businessman.
As a matter of fact, I myself possess a scar on my eye socket. That is literally just me losing a fight with a bed.
A typical businessman with business in this restaurant.
I have I have a couple of nasty scars. I've got a big one on my hand.
Oh yeah,
Hunter's carnivorous.
I have one on my temple, like just above the temple, where I walked into a slightly taller table when I was a kid, and it's like, oh, that could probably use stitches, but we're just gonna super glue it shut.
Ah!
Jeez.
Oh!
Bruh.
My grandma was a retired nurse. She was just like, oh, you'll be fine. And
Lord.
no problems. It's just I have a slight divot there.
Yeah. Word of advice for any children that ever watch this: do not play tag on ice skates.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't.
You got blades attached to your feet.
I got one right across my forehead.
Oh. I mean, they discuss how dangerous they are in Blades of Glory.
My God.
Don't watch Blades of Glory, kids.
It's not that bad. It's pretty bad, but it's not that bad.
It's appropriate for children.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Definitely.
Children must watch the Blades of Glory with me, the businessman.
Hmm.
Can you
So-
fight for 24
Fortunately,
hours
I
with
don't think
fan?
whatever this man's deal is, I don't think he is a man in black.
I am
You're
but
the
a
man in
normal
black.
businessman.
Yeah, he is wearing a black suit, but not the.
This is not Ibora's cousin who's trying very hard to be human.
Yeah, no, it's not no injured colds here yet.
Not yet. That's the
Oh,
important
yeah.
keyword.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna dream for a moment anyway.
But yeah, eventually, it's not like he stands there the entire time. After like a minute or so, he goes and, you lose sight of him as he goes and finds where he was sitting.
Businessman.
He'll keep that in mind, but, he's not letting it ruin his afternoon.
And
Just filing that as important.
And after, a bit, your dinners come out. Nice, big, rich, juicy steaks, different, noodles and shrimp and scallops and all kinds of deliciousness.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you have a nice night having dinner. Feel free to chat if you would like, or actually, while you're eating, let's check in on some of the others. That okay with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did anyone have, besides you, Olivia, we were going to get to you, but did anyone else have anything you wanted to do during the night or this evening? Um, been kind of quiet lately for most of you. Tommy or Carlos, or unless you just typical night for you.
Yeah, just vibing. When
Okay.
Tommy he's not dealing with the bullshit, he's vibing as much as he can.
Yep. Would you be chilling out at your place in the drainage tunnels?
Yeah, wouldn't be chilling out with the crew in the schoolyard.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
You've never heard the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX theme?
No,
Shame.
I've never watched Yu-Gi-Oh.
Your move.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I
I'm
never
glad you
watched
guessed
any of
it.
the Yu-Gi-Ohs that didn't have Yugi.
I watched the
Glad
one
you
where
guessed
there
it.
was a school to learn how to play a children's card game,
Mm-hmm.
an entire school devoted to it.
Yep.
They had an entire school devoted to learning how to play Magic the Gathering. You went there, and it was a prestigious school, and you didn't learn anything except Magic the Gathering.
Damn straight.
And that was an entire season based on that as a concept.
Yep.
That people would just allow teenagers to spend their entire adolescence learning
Well,
Magic the Gathering.
it's because the world's richest 20-year-old or 30-year-old, however fucking old this title is, has a special interest in this
Well,
card game.
and also because in this world, Magic the Gathering is technically linked to actual supernatural magic.
Yeah, fair.
Mhm.
If you happen to have an Egyptian artifact, of which there are like 5, but still, I guess in the rare chance that you find one of those, it's important for you. You might as well train hundreds of teenagers to know nothing but Magic the Gathering on the off chance.
In a way, it's like Harry Potter.
How?
Because
Well, it's better written for one.
Yeah, and also the kids who went to Harry Potter, they're not learning math or anything aside from magic.
That's true.
So,
Yeah,
tell me.
yeah. Explain that, fucking J.K. Rowling. How do
She
your
won't.
how do your wizards function in society?
She won't.
Anyways, the rest of you are doing things, I imagine.
Oops, them disappear.
A baby.
Anyways.
It's a baby that you disposed
Oh,
of.
that's an adult.
I know.
That's an elf owl.
They're all baby.
All of them.
Always baby.
All baby. All the time.
So, Tommy,
Yes.
while you're chilling out in your hidey hole,
Poppy, you slut. Anyway, continue.
there is it's a nice evening. It's not hot yet. It's kind of there's a decent breeze. It's a little hard to get a breeze inside the tunnel, but it's actually hitting a decent angle. So you're having a nice night, doing what you do for pass the time. But there's a moment where your nose picks up something kind of familiar.
Uh-huh.
Not from the tunnels, but from outside. It's like strange chitinous smell that it's familiar. It's familiar, but like it's like smelling a different flavor or different fragrance of something you've smelled before. Like
Yeah.
maybe something's got off, but it's like, why does it smell like scorpion?
Oh,
Lydites? And you kind of like get up and move towards the entrance because not far from where uh, the drainage tunnel, opens up. You're about like less than 100 feet from where a canal, or I think it was the river. Yeah, it was the river.
Yeah.
Kind of winds through, and it's kind of stronger that way. And you read a bad situation.
Bada bing. Bada boom. Give me a second. Gotta open this. Read a bit.
Well, you read a bad situation as you approach the river, and you realize there's water splashed up from the bank.
1 second. I forgot to. One day I'll input my Google Sheets.
Sound like
Sorry.
a tension.
Yeah,
Oh, you're good.
Google. It had like, oh, here's a new thing. And it's just like, I don't care about that shit.
That's all.
Okay.
I
So
think like a
it's
good tension. I guess. Good. Mixed success. Okay. So you get a hold of one. Best way in, best way out. Those two probably aren't relevant at the moment. Dangers you haven't noticed. Biggest threat. Most vulnerable to you, and best way to protect the victims.
I'm gonna go
Not
with.
many options on that one that would be relevant.
I'll take dangers I haven't noticed yet for 5,000, Alex.
um, as you get closer, you're kind of sniffing the air, and you get closer, and you think it's like, oh fuck, is it another scorplodite? Because you've heard from Hanzo and the others that there might be, more endofauna getting loose, and scorplodites were kind of a problem the very first time, when you got to town. But it's just like, but now that you're there, you're kind of sniffing around, and maybe it's not, maybe it's a related thing because you look down where the water had been splashed up onto the more dry dirt, as you see what looks to be the. Would Tommy have done like hunting or tracking on his time being a
Probably.
vagabond?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, so you know how to like track, see prints and stuff, and you see that they're, unfortunately, it's looking like something eight-legged crawled out of scurried out of the water, and you follow the trail a bit as it's leading not towards Carlos's, not towards the diner, but kind of in town
Oh dear.
before like the trail dries out and it gets to like an area where it's like the tracks aren't seen. But you think there might be like two tracks, two sets, but
Okay.
um,
All right. Tommy is going to pull out his radio and go, breaker. Anyone online copy?
Carlos, you're nearby, so you'd probably hear that. Yeah, he's like just a little bit away from the diner by this point.
Yeah, bud, what's up?
Got a pair of scorplodites, it seems like, coming into town. Breaker. Over.
Have you seen the scorplodites, or you think they're scorplodites?
I'm seeing some tracks right now.
Am I hearing this or no? Am I too far?
It's up to you. You had stuff you wanted to do, so.
Yeah. Mostly just check on, bring it's still her morning coffee and stuff.
Yeah, because she is working today, so she would have gone into the preserve. So, yeah, Winifred, it's up to you if you heard that or not. So,
I'll say, yeah, it crackles back. You do not know how to do trucker speak.
I'm doing it the funnest way I know how.
Which is not at all.
Damn straight.
I'll get the revolvers, just start tracking them before they start eating people.
Alright.
Any kind of where?
Do I have an approximation, God?
they were just kind of, Carlos. What's it like? So, what's it like around your place of business? What are like some of your business neighbors like? Or what's the neighborhood like? I guess is the better.
What we had described and set beforehand was that I'm on the edge of town as you come in off the highway. So it's mostly just a handful of restaurants and other touristy attractions before you get into the town proper.
Yep. Yeah, because you got to pass over the river to get into town.
Which would make it a ideal hangout for Tommy because there's no people here to catch him living in the sewers.
Mhm.
Yes.
And also lots of food.
Yeah. He has found his raccoon niche.
Mm-hmm.
Or his possum niche.
His thylacine niche.
Yeah, marsupial possum. Ugh. He's a dire possum.
Beast.
He's spiritually a
Violent.
raccoon.
Yeah.
There you go.
A varmint of some sort.
Yeah, varmint's a good one. So, yeah, it looks like it's just kind of scurrying out of the water. It wasn't like it wasn't like it was beelining towards any place specific, but you have a vague direction, and you might be able to track it by smell. Although once it's getting closer to like it kind of like the smell of like car exhaust might overpower it. You think if it gets someplace because it wasn't very strong, and it was only because the wind happened to be blowing it towards you that you even smelled it, and your enhanced senses as aware thylacine.
Right.
Plus, you've encountered what smells like the chemical pheromones of the scorpionidae would give up, which this is similar but odd.
Could I say it'd be heading like towards downtown or thereabouts?
It's a little far from downtown, but it's like going into town from the river by Carlos's place. That'd be a good way to describe it.
Okay. It's going into town by Carlos's place. Over.
Of course it is.
Of course.
Yeah, Carlos and Fred and Hanzo, you of course don't hear this because you didn't bring your walkie-talkies on into a restaurant. Yeah. Someone's walking by Hanzo's car, just hearing the cracking, like, what the heck?
This is how we adopt random NPC number 35.
Yeah. But yeah, so you're gathering.
Oh God.
I don't want to take away from you flirting with Itzel or anything.
This is it's an in character. It's in character. Struggling to decide, like, oh, I should, but like, I want to go do something sweet for the vampire who I'm at least friends with.
You also said there was also a chance you're going to talk to Sheila tonight too.
Also that. Yeah, I was going to let her know if I heard anything.
Carlos also crackles over the radio. With one of our heavy hitters out, we could always just call pluripotent and let them know.
Just audible pause. I
How
guess
awful, right?
we could.
To let them do their actual job for once.
Yeah. That's crazy.
What are we supposed to do? Not interfere?
Literal 1984.
He says this as he's like loading up, like prepping to go out, like knowing what's about to happen.
Up to you guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
We got-
Winifred would be in range of this, because if Carlos's diner is on one end of the town, Winifred's is on the other, because she's also on outskirts.
Yeah.
True.
What's Hanzo's new partner's name?
Oh,
This is
are you
in
asking
universe.
me?
No, this is Olivia asking them.
I'm asking you.
And I'm asking you two.
You
I'm
remember
not
her
in the
name?
car.
Do you not remember her name?
Listen.
Out of character, fuck no.
I don't. Listen, I've been trying to not interact with them as much as I can.
I mean, same. She seems fine, but she hasn't proven herself like Hanzo has.
I like that you all forget that Winifred works there too.
How could she ever be a part of the government?
Yeah.
Carlo,
See, the difference is you're, a worker. You're,
Right now, I'm just thinking about the scene in Clue where Mr. Green realizes that everyone makes their living either as a government worker or from the government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost
Wait
as
a
if we
minute.
live
We
in a
all
town
work
that's
for
dependent.
We all work for pluripotent or live in a pluripotent town. Does anyone here not make their living from pluripotent?
Even you.
Tommy
work
can
for
say yes
pluripotent.
because he doesn't pay taxes.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And I think that's very, very cool of him.
Mm-hmm.
As it happens.
I could just imagine Tommy going on a rant. It's like, once upon a time, man did not need to pay taxes just to live on a squat of dirt. If I came here 200 years ago, there would have been no taxes.
You hear Winifred in the background go, "Yeah, right! How do you think I got this house? Besides murder."
murder.
Murder.
Hello, fellow human teens. I heard the coolest place for us teens to hang out is the colossal pillar of wasp eggs. Let's go. Do not bring weapons. Anyways,
I would assume as the radio conversation continues on, Carlos is at the phone calling Winifred's house because he knows they're just too damn far.
Okay. She'll answer that. Go, "Hey, what's up?"
So you know how tonight's the night, like we're trying to do nice things for the kids because Fred deserves a fucking break.
Yeah.
There's 2 Scorplodites heading to town, according to Tommy.
There's a pause on the other end of the line, and she just goes, "Give me a couple minutes, I'll be there." She'll hang up.
Do you remember
Wait.
that? Oh,
No, if you start talking before she hangs up, then you
I was like, do you remember the name of the agent that Tommy that works with Hanzo, the new one?
God, may I have that knowledge.
Agent Wakefield.
Wakefield, I think.
Excellent. I'm gonna make a phone call.
Oh God, you're gonna call in Wakefield. Okay, she'll hang up.
It's the God you're calling in Wakefield. We're down to Hanzo.
I gotta ask when Winifred paused, Yeah, like just like pause talking. Was there the sounds of video game booping in the
Yeah,
background?
she was playing one of the Dragon Age games, or not Dragon Age, Dragon Quest, as it would be called right now, Dragon Warriors.
Yeah. It's just like, I'll be there in a few minutes once I get to a safe spot.
It's exactly what she was thinking. Yes. I can't leave this thing. I can't leave this thing on that long. It'll fucking burn itself out.
Or burn itself into your TV.
Yeah, my gigantic TV.
So,
yeah. She is on her way. You can decide when she gets there on a motorcycle that she doesn't have to be particularly careful on.
right. And, okay. So, you are all converging your Carlos's. Olivia,
Yeah.
were you going?
Damn. What time? Like, where would Itzel be now? At home
We
or
could,
heading to work?
if you want, we could say this is after you've hung out with Itzel a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was
He's
saying,
good.
I was thinking this has been after sunset for like a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that like she's like with Itzel when this comes over, so she looks at Itzel like a silent "I'm sorry" on her face before she picks it up and starts talking.
Uh-huh. Although she kind of had this look of like, I mean, technically I am on the clock, so it's fine. She goes back to like maintaining like some of the vehicles for the preserve.
I'll meet you guys there.
I'm calling Agent Wakefield.
She'll probably tell all of us to get if she shows up before us. What?
Yeah, but if we can call the cavalry in before people die, I'm A-okay with that.
Agreed.
So sorry, guys. I was not typing anything. I had my knee on my spacebar.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, okay. So you are converging and you are calling Wakefield.
Yep. I think
Okay.
she passed me a business card when we first met her. So don't quote me on that.
Don't quote me either, but we'll say she did.
You
Yeah,
know,
sure.
because like she knew we were working with Hanzo. So I'll just dial the number and be like, "Hi, I'm looking for Agent Wakefield."
And you hear her go, this is she who's calling?
Hi, this is Carlos down over at the Greasy Spoon Diner. We do
Right, one of Hanzo's friends.
Yeah, so he's on a much needed day off, and I do not wish
Right.
to worry him about the 2 Scorplodite tracks that came out of the canal heading towards downtown.
Oh,
So I'm worrying you about that. We're actively
good
keeping
idea.
track of where it's heading.
And as you hear her go, good idea, you just suddenly hear the squealing of tires as it sounds like she's flipping a Yui somewhere. Because you called her on the car phone.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? Respect.
Okay, Wakefield, you got my attention.
Yeah.
And Carlos is like, we are currently remote tracking, not getting too close due to the fact that we've dealt with 1 Scorplodite before. We know how nasty they get. Trying to follow tracks and trails up into town. This number is my office number, but we are radio frequency, insert frequency here.
Just give it
If
that
you've
away,
got
huh?
hockey or whatever.
Okay. She's like, all right. She goes, I think I got one here. So, all right, I'll see you when I get there. Should only be a few minutes.
Okay.
And yes, keep your distance. Those things have a bigger reach than you would expect, or a longer reach than you would expect.
Lady who dealt with Scorpion.
Maybe she is too,
I mean, I don't doubt that.
but
I
she
expect that, to be
is.
honest.
So she's on her way.
Mhm.
Um. Fred and Hanzo, back to you. As unknowingly, your friends are dealing with a possible incursion.
Hmm.
How to
Hanzo's
make
gonna be either
how to make the
grateful or
original
annoyed.
threat even worse? Add a second one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If it worked for Mothra, it works for us.
Oh shoot! I should have. There was something I should have specified with the traps. And Tommy, maybe you would have noticed. You probably would have noticed this. These don't look as big as the Scorplodite that you encountered, previously that escaped when Raw had attacked the vultures, but you have seen smaller ones that would be closer to this size down in the superorganism and in the cistern. So, you know, it doesn't look like it's a full giant sized one like the one you all wrestled with in the first arc,
Hmm.
but you know, still
Babies.
still going to be a problem that size because from the looks of it, if it was like this going by the Scorplodite size, these are like uh,
Subadults.
bigger than a corgi.
Hmm.
Which is a frighteningly large scorpion.
Yeah,
But an adorably small dog.
yeah, that's kind of the problem with like. I mean, I think giant insects are cute, but for most
At
people,
that
a giant
size,
scorpion would be
at that
a
size,
problem.
it's less. You don't have to worry about the venom so much as the fact that if it stabs you in the wrong place, that's gonna really fucking hurt.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't.
Olivia. Sorry.
I mean, I don't see a scorpion barking anytime soon.
They're good
That is
neighbors.
true.
so,
No one ever raises noise
Han,
complaints about good old grandma scorpion shoes.
no, Hans. Well, until he shot her with a gun,
Yeah.
point blank.
Pneumonia.
But the so yeah, Hanzo and Fred, back to you. You're at a restaurant having a nice time.
Damn. This is a well cooked steak.
Yes, you deserve it after losing your previous one.
Oh, what happened? Alex says through a
Ants.
mouthful of food.
Just a bunch of nasty ants.
And Tiffany's like, "Oh, you can't leave food out."
Yeah, I know that, sweetie. It's just they were extremely aggressive.
Might I ask, how long do you intend to keep your children here?
Out of character, how long are they staying?
Uh,
I think you said a
Couple
couple
weeks.
weeks last time.
yeah, maybe probably like a month.
Couple weeks, maybe a month. It depends on when their mother gets done with her business trip.
Hmm.
And Hanzo, that guy's walking right up towards your table.
Excuse me. He'll get up from the table and leave.
Yeah, seeing you start to get up, he stops. So and it's like very clearly like steps aside, like like obviously that he got your attention, so he seems satisfied with that, and he's just waiting, kind of arms crossed.
Yeah.
If he keeps walking, is the man gonna follow him?
Do you start walking? Keep walking.
He'll do one of those facial expressions like, "Yes, I see you," and "Yes, I will speak with you, but not here."
Okay, yeah, and he kind of looks past you and seems to give like a long studying look to Fred and the kids, you know, they kind of glance back and kind of watch where you're going and see this strange man, but he turns and starts following you.
Yeah, he's just gonna, step outside.
Oh,
The
and he says Japanese. He goes, "No, we're not stepping out."
yeah, his hand was on the door handle when he hears that, and kind of just turn. Very well. Walk up to him.
And he kind of glances over, and because just of the way the restaurant was shaped, you didn't really see where he had gone, but he kind of looks off, and you see a kind of nods in a direction where there's another Japanese man sitting, much nicer looking suit, slick back hair, very well put together looking. It looks like a corporate kind of business guy, but he's just kind of sitting over there watching, sitting alone in the booth, and he goes, "But the thing is, Hanzo, or no, he hold on, he goes, person I work for would actually like to speak with you if you are indeed who we think." And I'm trying to scroll where was this. No, I'll just ask you in the chat.
Mm-hmm. I'll bring that up in just a second.
Okay. And he goes, "Is that you, Takeshi-san?"
Oh,
Very well. Come.
And he and then that would be when he nods to the person and goes, "Mr. Hamasaki would like to speak with you." And that is a name you recognize. A name you hoped you wouldn't hear as long as you had lived.
Mm-hmm. He's not going to make a scene. He will come over to the table.
And sitting there, you recognize an older man. Not like elderly, but you would know he was around your father's age. And actually, no, he would be younger than your father, because you recognize this man because he used to work for him. This is Ren Hamasaki, and he kind of nods as you sit down, and this other fellow kind of sits nearby, just within earshot, but very clearly seems to be a bodyguard kind of position. He goes, "I was wondering if that was you, Takeshi."
It's been
Been
some
too
time.
long. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not trying to echo you. Jeez.
I mean, it makes the moment kind of creepier, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes a sip of his alcohol. Puts it down and goes, "Imagine my surprise when Kanzaki here was telling me he thought he recognized you. But I surely it couldn't be. To find you here in redemption of all places. Do you think that's a little on the nose, Takeshi-san? Or Takeshi-kun? Try to remember the honorifics, because
Mm-hmm. It appears it's a small world we live in.
wait. So, tell me, what brings you to redemption beyond just the humor of the name?"
I came here for honest work.
And that gets a chuckle from both of them. "Oh, I see. And would that be with Pluripotent then as well?
Yes.
Then it seems we have something in common. For you see, I am also here representing legitimate business ties for the with Pluripotent. Also working with them.
Fucking Yakuza.
Amusing, honestly. So, who is that Gaijin you were sitting with? Sorry, as a white person, this feels a little awkward.
Yeah,
But I'm trying to.
you can be casual about it. You know, we, go with the assumption of translation convention.
Yeah.
So
But I
long
do
as
get it as like
it
you're
allows you
trying
to.
to pepper some Spanish into Olivia's stuff.
Yeah. Speak however you would wish to portray this guy.
Mhm. And he has a. Oh wait, I got it mixed up. Kanzaki, the bodyguard, he's not the one with the scar.
Mm-hmm.
Hamasaki, he's the one who has a fairly nasty scar that goes across his chin, almost from his ear down to, or across his cheek. Goes from like his chin across his cheek, almost to his ear. Like, and you would know. You've heard the story of how he got that, but and
Yeah.
occasionally you see him like run his thumb across just like a seems to be like a habit.
Mm-hmm. As to answer the man's question, that would be an unremarkable individual I just happen to work with.
Now, it is curious. Last we heard, you just disappeared. We're honestly a little worried you got picked up by some unfriendlies. And you realize that's kind of like the just unbarely veiled code for either police or rivals, because there are people around here who do speak Japanese other than the three of you, so he's being a little more cautious.
Mm-hmm. Yes. As of late, I have had the good grace to keep my head down and. Or what would be the word? Something more along the lines of he's experienced some good fortune lately, but he's trying to maintain a very stoic face.
Mm-hmm. So it kind of like trails off, and he looks to Kanzaki and goes, "I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't believe you when you said the stony-faced bastard was someone you recognized, because you should have seen the Takeshi back then. Your father was so proud of you.
Yes.
I suppose that's a good thing. So he's no longer here to learn of your shame."
Damn.
Small mercies.
Small mercies indeed. And because I am waiting for someone to discuss business with, I'll let you get back to enjoy your meal. Just wanted to make sure it really was you, Takeshi.
Thank you for this meeting and for your good grace.
Don't worry, we'll talk again. There's much to talk about. The Yotaka Kai does not let go of its valued employees. But enjoy yourself. Hanzo, was it now?
Yes.
You didn't say the name Hanzo to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of gives a nod and does this very familiar gesture of dismissal that you've seen your father, that you remember seeing your father make so many times when he was sitting in his office.
You'll politely get up and start walking away.
And Kanzaki's trailing you. And he will kind of like, as you're walking, just kind of quietly talk as you're heading back to Fred and the kids. He goes, heard much about you, Takeshi. A shame why you left.
Indeed.
Let's hope now that we know you're here, things can be better this time. And he stops, when you get close, he goes, well, it's good to meet you, Hanzo. And he goes and holds his hand out.
He will politely shake.
Mm-hmm. He gives a firm squeeze and he goes, and then he goes, we'll be seeing you. And he's saying this all in English. Then he looks to you, Fred. He goes, evening. And he excuses himself. And so, Fred, while Hanzo was gone, your kids were like, what is, and like, 'cause they were watching, Hanzo start to walk out and then turn around and walk with this guy to somewhere else in the restaurant. And Alex is like, hey, scary. Like, it's like a bodyguard or something. And Tiffany's like, well, I mean, maybe. But
some people look a little frightening. Hanzo's got a bunch of weird work friends, but
like you?
Yeah. To be quite frank, yeah.
Yeah, you know us.
And they're like nodding as they're eating, seeming to be curious about this event. And Hansel, that's when you show back up.
He'll sit back down. Apologies. I was catching up with some old business associates.
Oh, from Japan?
Yes.
Alex asks.
God.
Oh.
As he lifts his cup of tea and drinks, there is a single very uncharacteristic eye twitch.
And Alex kind of leans over to Tiffany and goes, did you see his arm when he shook Hanzo's hands? He has like tattoos. Yeah, but so yeah, you have, other than that interruption, you have a pleasant meeting.
He is noticeably less talkative to the children after that.
It's hard. I mean, to be fair, it's hard to be less talkative than.
Previously, he was trying to be friendly, and right now he's clammed up.
Fred covers for him as best as he can. Because Fred can tell that was a little weird, and also not his or his kid's business.
Alex is probably a little too naive to really catch on to that, but Tiffany definitely seems like, oh, something happened here. But she's just like, I definitely not, do not have all the information. So, if there's anything else you wanted to do, you have a nice night at the restaurant. Other than that little interruption, they
Yeah.
have very very nice desserts. Alex is happy. So is Tiffany.
I love me some mochi. Some
Oh
mochi
yeah,
ice
they would
cream.
definitely have mochi. Yeah, Tiffany
Mhm.
would be like, "Oh, I've never had real mochi. I've always wanted," and she's excited about it. And Alex is just like, there is a moment where Alex finishes it, and then he gets this like contemplative, almost sad look. He goes, "We're not going to be able to get this back home, are we?" As he grabs a second one and starts scarfing it. God, I haven't had mochi in years, and now I suddenly want some.
I am very fortunate to have an Asian market in the neighborhood.
And
Oh,
I've
nice.
seen it at Food Line if you have it. Or Target, actually. Target.
Oh, Target.
Yeah.
Don't go there often, but I might if they actually have mochi. But yeah, I know here for a while back in high school, the only place that you could get Pocky was literally the Fry's, which is the what they call Kroger's here.
Walmart has Baki.
Oh yeah, now it's a little more available everywhere. But I remember back in high school, it would always be cleared out because our high school was right behind the like one of the grocery stores. So of course, all the teens would go and steal it.
Yeah, as they do.
But anyways, so hunting.
Yes.
The
Yes.
monster of the week.
Olivia.
Then it'll be interpersonal character drama.
Maybe the real monster was the people we met.
I mean, no spoilers. So, you.
We all met up.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. You meet up around Carlos's. Livy, you'd probably be. I can't remember how far. You wouldn't beat Wakefield there. Wakefield is probably one of the first ones there, besides Tommy, since Tommy's just right next door. But
Yeah.
yeah, Carlos and Tommy, you're there waiting for the others to show up. For a moment, you think it's Hanzo's car pulling in, before you remember he's away, and you see Agent Wakefield step out.
Yep.
So, Scorpionites.
It's like Hanzo, but
Yeah.
not.
So I'm assuming he brings her down over to where Tommy saw the tracks going up out of the canal.
Yeah, they would have dried a bit, but it's still, Tommy, once you point it out, she's like, oh, yeah, that. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Those do look kind of like Scorpionite tracks. I mean, I'm not a deep ranger, so I can't really make that assessment, which you hear the rumbling of a motorcycle as a deep ranger shows up.
We called in our deep ranger expert just to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And Winifred, you show up.
Yeah, I pull up on my motorcycle right at that minute. Like, yeah, there she is.
Yep. And yeah, when they point it out, when Tommy points it out, these definitely look like you're like, oh yeah, these could probably be Scorpionite. If anything. It does have that like 8-legged scorpion gait, but it's much too big to be, an actual scorpion.
Mm-hmm. Like, whatever it is, it's concerningly big.
Yeah. And Olivia, you would show up by this point. Everyone goes back, shows back up at the diner parking lot, and you would get caught up, but then Johanna would be like, "What's weird though is most Scorpionites, like crocodiles, they're ambush hunters. They don't leave the water unless they're chasing something, but it didn't look like there were other tracks or. Like, so you told me you didn't hear them. You didn't hear someone running or screaming.
No,
I
just
got
Yeah.
tracks.
And there were no fresh tracks
gotta-
beyond, like, probably the most fresh tracks were yours just walking by earlier in the day, human wise.
have I heard? Did I hear earlier when Hanzo got told about another animal attack?
I don't believe you did. Because that
Okay, so
was in his,
my
that
information
was
from
his, like, a car, I think, car phone.
yeah, Olivia has a contemplative look on her face. We've had some weird chupacabra attacks, right?
Yeah, and there was that weird thing.
turtle.
She goes, well, last confirmed chupacabra was the one I found up by the dam, but that was a few weeks ago with the vultures.
It's not that long.
Yeah,
But then we have the turtle. Then there was the
yeah, still trying to track that.
what are the lizards called again?
Jackal lizards.
Jack lizards.
Then there was the jackal lizards.
Yeah, Hanzo and I scooped those up.
There's a
I
there's a
They
shit
were
little
ransacking. They were ransacking a deli.
or no, sure. Do you think they were all acting weird? Is somebody poisoning endofauna?
Yeah.
And she kind of like, for a moment, I mean, possibility. We'll know more. The jackal lizards we rounded up. They're being tested and inspected before we possibly relocate them or put them in one of the oh I'm me personally I'm blanking on what the term would be for like when you can't return a wild animal, so you put them in like a
Reserve.
A zoo.
like a yeah,
A
it's like
wildlife rescue center.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, she'd be like, but whether or not they can be returned or if we have to keep them in one of our porta-potties rescues.
You should have them look for any foreign substances, because
Oh yeah, that's one of the things we do a blood toxicology, just in case they might have ingested something up above ground that doesn't agree with them. Because she kind of kicks the soil. She goes, "You have any idea how toxic it is up here for them?"
yeah, I do.
They don't like it. And Winifred's gonna like turn and look at everybody. It's like there's also the possibility that it's just animals relocate when something bigger moves in that wasn't supposed to be there.
All the
And,
poachers
like,
all the poachers that have been around. I wouldn't be surprised if they've rustled up some of the wildlife, like on a bigger scale than just, the ones they
Wakefield
grab.
will look to you, Winifred, and goes, "You're a deep ranger. You probably have the best idea out of anyone here. There's signs that something moved in or relocated or closer to the surface that would be flushing them out."
Would I
Which,
know
as
that?
far as you can tell, Winifred, no, things have been fairly par of the course. It's been, other than having to, explore some of the new areas that the vultures have unlocked, it's been fairly average.
It's been
You haven't really noticed anything.
It's been mostly average. I haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary. But with how big the thing is, I can't say for sure.
That's
But
fair.
animals don't act like this randomly.
No, they're not. They're not monsters.
And
She says, knowing that there are some actual monsters.
Yeah, we know which
there
ones
are
are the
monsters
monsters.
in this world.
Yeah, I'll suplex one eventually. No, I did. I suplexed one.
Yeah,
I just
supernatural
like
one.
you.
You specifically
There are
suplexed the
monsters.
raging Hellcat.
And there
Yeah.
are men.
And carnivore.
And Carnivore. I suplexed
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
two.
you've done it plenty of
Who is still
times.
MIA, by the way. No one
Yeah, I
has
know.
seen. No one has seen Claw or Scalifer yet.
In
Boo.
time, perhaps.
The greed of this woman keeps wanting to suplex every wild animal.
Look,
I
she doesn't want to suplex every wild animal. I want to
Right.
suplex every wild animal.
Yep.
Remember when you got Hal to elbow drop a Garail?
Hmm Who was doing nothing?
Yeah,
They just deemed it suspicious.
And he's like, "Are you sure you want me to do this? All right."
I mean,
Just
it's the
elbow drop
one
an
with the
innocent
one
animal.
mundane thing after so many weird fucking animals. It's just like, well, something's got to be up with it.
He was just a normal man, just an innocent man.
He knows what
I
he
don't-
did.
His knobby
I think-
snout.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No. I think nothing has been simple for a while, and with wanting to open everything back up, this is more than just suspicious timing.
Yeah, you're telling me. She sighs and goes, well, if we can track this down before they do something. And then she kind of like pauses and she goes, wait. You were listing off things that happened recently and you, okay, so Hanzo, I was wondering if Hanzo would have told you or not, but I guess I'll be the one to spill the beans. There was a murder last night, or I don't know if murder is the appropriate term. There was an attack last night.
Shit, another one?
2 people found dead out in the deserts.
Where in the desert?
Out of town. I'm not going to give you the direct crime scene because it's
Come on.
active and
Oh,
Detective Bentley is getting annoyed enough with people wandering in.
okay. I'm not going to tell anyone where the crime scene is, but this, the area could be important.
It's not near here, if that's what you're. And she would.
She's thinking about the heart.
Oh yeah, and she goes, "Well, I can't tell you where it happened, but I can say that the wounds do seem to indicate the bodies are being inspected now, and I'm literally waiting to hear a call back from them. So Hanzo and I can go check after his date, but the bodies look like they were."
Oh, you got that vibe too?
She kind of shrugs. But from what my educated guess is, they were attacked by scorpionites. That's the weird thing. They're out in the desert. There was no source of water nearby.
Not unless if that tortoise has been making burrows.
Oh.
That's
You
actually
think there's
not a bad idea. I'll call up Detective Barrow and make sure this trooper, or the deputies look around for that if there is an entrance. That's not a bad idea.
That's a
Scary idea.
scary but good
Yeah,
thought.
tortoises of that size, sulcata tortoises are ecosystem engineers.
Yep.
Lots of animals use their burrows.
Yeah, and the mole tortoises are kind of the same way. They're the ones who kind of open up, dig open passages through portions of it. With a superorganism, I mean. But
They're very important keystone species.
Yeah, she goes. But it's just something is off, and so I would assume you were all kind of like walking and talking, or
Yeah, I tracking
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
tracks as best we can.
Mm-hmm.
Then, let's see. You know what? Investigate a mystery.
Investigate a mystery.
Yeah, I think maybe you, Olivia, you're busy talking with Wakefield, so I'd say you, Winifred or Tommy, both of you could roll if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Carlos,
Yeah.
did you
I'm
want
good
to,
Here, hold on.
or, I mean, I was going to say you could use magic, but like, wait, no, you're in front of an NPC who doesn't know that's your magic.
But me and her are talking, so there is at least a bit of a distraction for her.
I don't
Okay,
have
that's
anything
success.
particular that would help with that. So
Okay. Oh, hold on, I can feel a sneeze coming. Oh. Oh, God, it's like something punched me in the sinuses.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. All right, sneeze got me. Good. Whew. Okay. You get a hold of one, Winifred. Tommy, on a mission, you reveal some information to the monster or whoever you are talking to. I'll leave that up to you, Tommy. To what kind of thing might Tommy accidentally say in front of Wakefield?
Hey,
Oh
shit.
no.
That's one of my mark stats, so I get to mark a experience.
Yes. Mark that experience.
Ooh, I know. I wonder if it came from the other entrances.
Other entrances?
Winifred's gonna be in front of you and she's just gonna stiffen like motherfucker.
like the ones that the are you talking about like the ones that those poachers got open, or that one we reported beforehand?
Yes.
Kind of narrows her eyes at that, but as far as you know, and as far as the DM knows, you have reported the two entrances that. Oh wait, no, there is the third. Right, the swamp.
The
How could I
Yeah.
forget about
swamp.
Thundar the bouncer?
But we have historically reported any of the ones that we've found, as far as she
Yeah,
knows.
so she kind of, yeah, she's like,
Carlos
right, you
is nonchalant about it, just like, oh, you mean like those ones?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
your group does have a few times now you've found vulture entrances that have been rather ransacked, but
Yeah, but have they been have they been like had a watch assigned to them?
oh yes, both have been.
Uh, it's been established that things could probably be following this tortoise.
Yeah,
That is
she would have said the two entrances. She goes, yeah, the first one you found a couple of weeks back. That's been had a seal put on it, so make sure nothing gets out, but they can go in and investigate it. Turn that into a new entrance. And the other one, they're doing the same on those kids.
Damn
Yeah.
kids.
Good.
But Winifred, you get a hold of one. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? You get a hold of one.
The most direct one, where did it go?
And there are a few moments where it's like you're pretty sure you lost it because this thing's skittering over some asphalt or something. But eventually, you do see, um, because there are a couple times where it's like, oh yeah, that's very distinctly how they look like walking through sand. Because despite it being the superorganism, there is there is a fairly large amount of sand within it. You know, especially around the waterways that snake through it. But so you're like, okay, pretty sure we're going this way, and you're heading towards what looks to be a building that it has. Carlos, you would recognize it. It looks to be like an old car wash that's been closed. It's not the big fancy one that's in town. The Abracadabra car wash.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh
I
yeah,
like it.
Abracadabra car wash. Yeah, where it's like has a neon wizard shooting soap bubbles at a car.
It's badass,
Wonderful.
actually. That's extremely
But-
90s.
Great,
Thank you.
but I still took
I have
damage.
a list of different like random businesses. Like the Ordinary Expedition Butcher Shop was one of them that you've encountered. Um, the yeah, there's other ones like oh yeah, while driving through Little Japan, you would have passed by a little restaurant called Walk This Way.
I do remember that one.
And oh yeah, there was another one, the Puzzled Snowman Ice Cream Shop, which
America.
was someplace you were going to be taking your kids to eventually.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't want to read off the list, but there's going to be some fun ones. But yes, looks to be like an old car wash. It's been shut down, shuttered. Yeah, it has like a sign that's like to be redeveloped by the city. There's a couple of other buildings nearby that are like that. But Carlos, you've seen those signs up. Some of them are new, some of them been there for a while. So it's like you're not sure if they're ever going to get around to it, kind of vibe.
Yep. Like it's we
Yeah.
need to get to this at some point.
Yeah, although maybe with the revitalization that might actually get around to it. But the whatever you notice, it's like the weird part is though when you realize this thing's going towards it because it's like nothing else really around it. There's just mostly empty lots around nearby it.
Mhm.
From the street, you don't really notice it, but you notice there's looks to be like a car or two in behind, like parked behind.
Olivia, she doesn't notice that, but she's gonna like bring her voice down.
Winifred's
Awfully
gonna,
suspicious.
she's gonna hold out an arm and then point when everybody's like paying attention to her, to the cars.
Well, that's not suspicious.
And Johanna's like, or Wakefield's like, Waters maybe? She looks to you, Carlos. Is that a problem around here? Which Carlos? Not really. Squatters, people will break into places. Like teenagers will go there to drink and do drug, smoke pot or whatever. But nothing really.
Not on this scale, no.
Because those cars, like when you circle back, it's like a regular car and like an SUV kind of vehicle. They don't look to have the same layer of dust that other like abandoned cars would around here. It's the desert. There's dust storms. Things get dusty pretty quickly. That's why the car wash, back in town is so popular.
Also, the name.
Uh huh. So, yeah.
I can't wait for the arc in which the bubble wash wizard is in fact real, and he and Carlos know each other.
Fucking God. He's breaking the masquerade, Carlos.
The Wizard of Clean.
You need to take him out.
He's retired. I'm leaving him alone.
He is just this long bearded wizard. He is Mr. Clean with a wizard beard.
Oh my God.
That's why he wears the hat.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
no matter what hair potions he tries, nothing can make
It
that.
keeps going to his face.
Oh,
Like the guy who
God.
does D&D shorts.
I was thinking about Red Dead is drinking all the hair tonics.
Oh
Suddenly
God, yeah.
sprouts a full beard.
It's just God.
He goes from baby face to looking like Karl Marx in a few seconds.
So funny. But sorry. Yeah. So you see this this car wash. You can't really see. Windows have been shuttered. It looks like it had those security shutters that have been rolled down, so you can't really see inside. It's not like boarded up or anything, but it's definitely looks like it's
Is there any sign of cameras?
nope. This it's not like the you don't see any cameras above spying at you like the vulture's hideout.
Look, that mysterious luchador got caught on camera last time.
Oh yes, I gave Hanzo the tape.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that
I know.
was
But-
nobody. She doesn't know it's me.
Right, but she saw what was it? Winifred, Tommy, and Carlos on
Yeah,
that tape.
she knows that they were with the luchadora, but they don't know that I'm the luchadora.
Right. So but it does look like there is a back door, like an employees only kind of access door, close to where the cars are parked.
Olivia's got to like
And
finger
Winifred
to her lips.
Yep.
and Winifred, just continuing the where did it go? As you kind of circle around towards the back where these cars are, you notice there's like a air vent, like grate that's kind of squeaking slightly as it's just only in by like one screw. You see looks like something might have scurried up the side and crawled inside. As you look closer, and there's like scratches in the old paint that look fairly fresh, like something clambered up.
Okay. They definitely went in here. How do you want
And
to do this one?
It's about that time that you start to smell fresh blood.
Oh shit!
All right. Well, bad news. And she
And
taps the
Tommy,
siren.
you would smell it too.
Oh, swell.
What?
I don't think we have time for subtle right now.
Yep.
Why? What?
Smells delicious in here.
It's what she's gonna say. Actually, it smells delicious.
And with that match cut, we go back to the restaurant. And yeah, so you're finishing up the kids. Alex is stuffed. He looks ready to go into another food coma, but you've had your fortune
We make
cookies.
sure we get plenty of leftovers for them to take home.
Oh yeah. Hold on, I need to find a fortune cookie generator.
You will have a successful bake sale.
Yeah.
Topical.
Let's see. No, these are just very generic. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it does enlarge the future.
Fuck off! I'll die cold and angry.
Wow.
You'll be unusually successful in business. And Tiffany's like, all right, that's a good sign, I guess. Fred, the one you get is just like, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Well, that's factually untrue.
Yeah.
God, watch Hanzo's be ominous as fuck.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'm just gonna take a screenshot and send this to you, DZ, because yeah, it was that you said this, Nora. Right as this popped up, DZ.
Yeah, he cracks it open, reads it, and again there is that single eye twitch. He does not share what was on the cookie.
But
What's
I
it say?
will.
No, I want to know.
I'll say it for the readers at home, viewers at home, and players. Suppressing a moment of anger may save a day. May save a day of sorrow.
Yeah.
Once again, fuck you. I'll die angry.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's stupid. Your attitude
Oh.
determines your altitude. All right, fuck off.
Send it to the stratosphere, apparently.
So, yeah, you get your fortune cookies. Some of them are a little on the nose, maybe for you. Definitely, just like I'll be successful in business. All right, I guess that mom will be happy for that. She kind of sighs, keeps pushing me to get to focus on business school when I graduate. No. So you get your leftovers boxed up, get yourself some doggy bags, and when you depart, Hanzu, you glance back.
He's trying not to pay attention to them.
Okay, well, you do kind of glance back just briefly, as just because the way you walk out, you kind of have to briefly turn that way. As you see Hamasaki, he's sitting there and he's seems to be in the middle of like chatting with this white guy in a business suit. Looks at maybe someone from Pluripotent.
Mm-hmm.
They just seem to be having like a business dinner. Hamasaki sees you, gives like a polite nod, and then turns back. Just business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Man, we're gonna have to kill somebody for Hanzo.
and as you step out, you see, you step out, and you see Kanzaki. He's kind of standing out there with some of the other smokers. He's just smoking a cigarette. There's some other people who are, just, but he's not like standing with them. It's just he's just there because that's the designated smoking spot. So,
Mm-hmm.
I have to be here.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when he sees all of you leaving, he's just like gives a nod. Have a good evening, in English, and then
Yeah, he'll just tell Fred. He unlocks the car with the clicker or whatever. No, that wouldn't be around very popular at this time, wouldn't it?
yeah, you can just hand him the keys.
Yeah, he'll just hand him the keys. He's like, why don't you and the kids get settled?
Don't leave me.
All right.
So, Fred, you and the kids go. Tiffany, she just seems kind of suspicious about this whole thing. You see her kind of glance back a couple of times, but
Poor kid.
and Alex is kind of rubbing his eyes sleepily, and he's the first one to get into the car. And Tiffany kind of pauses before getting in. She looks to you, Fred, and she goes, "Dad, I'm just gonna wait until later, bud. Are you guys like dating? Which is totally cool if you are, but
Mia Hansel? Oh, it's 1991, kid. No.
Okay, this world has generally better
yeah, it's generally better, but yeah,
Genuinely better does not mean uniformly better.
yeah.
my
Fred
thought
is from the
is
Midwest.
vampires came out, so crazy conservative people were distracted by
If
vampires.
Nosferatu couldn't stand the closet, why should I?
Wow.
But
No,
no,
there were very much people who, and I hate to say this, but there definitely were people who were like, people should stay in the closet or the coffin, whichever.
Oh my god! The closet or the coffin!
I have to confess, everyone, I'm a vampire. Well, congratulations for coming out of the coffin.
Yeah.
Winifred definitely walked into some conservative churches and did not noticeably catch on fire and terrified the entire congregation.
Sipping her bitch juice.
Hmm. But I am
Um,
curious what if there are any genuine thoughts that Fred has about Hanzo.
Frank is serious. So I'm gonna disappoint all of you. Fred is
Of course.
boring when it comes to sexuality.
Oh yeah, no, that's not my
He is-
expectation. But what does he feel about Hanzo?
Hanzo's a good guy. He's quiet and terse, but like he's never been a dick. He's
Quiet
always
and
come
what?
through in a pinch. Terse. Short.
Okay.
You know, it's when you speak in short, snappy sentences.
No, I thought
Um,
you said quiet and curse, which is fine.
Quiet and terse. Terse. He's sort of a stoic guy, but like that's a lot of men. Um, but he's a solid dude. He has come through on multiple occasions. He's very competent. He's never been an asshole to Fred.
I don't know if he's ever been an asshole to anyone.
Hanzo's a really good guy. You know, didn't think he was gay. Don't think he's gay. But to be quite frank, I don't know what he's into actually. Now that we ask about it.
Yeah, again,
Is
not trying to be
he-
stereotypical about teenage girls, but I mean, she's a teenage girl who's into anime. She might be a fujoshi.
Also, one of your one friend who's a girl. Well, one of your friends who's a girl has explicitly mentioned. I think.
Being a lesbian.
Hanging-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a 90s moment of Fred reacting to that, if you recall.
There was, but I can't remember what it was because it's been a bit.
It wasn't anything super bad. It was just slightly awkward. In the way of a person who is well-meaning but has never had to confront that before, suddenly has to confront that would make it slightly awkward.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, that's fair, honestly.
That's Fred. He's a boring person outside of the shit that happens to him. And so when he's thrown something that's like counterculture, he's not like judgmental of it, but sometimes he's thrown for a loop.
Yeah,
He's a good dude.
him being so boring is what makes it funny when he's thrown into these wacky ass situations.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And like he's a nice Midwestern guy, so he's never had to like think about a lot of these things. But when he does, because he is a nice Midwestern guy, not just Midwestern nice, but genuine nice. He does ultimately react with his heart in the right place, and then when he gets his questions like, yeah, I don't actually know what Hanzo's deal is romantic wise, but your
Actually, can
dad's
you say
still into
anything
women.
about him?
Was that Hanzo?
I was making a point. It's like that's a good question. I don't think I've ever heard Hanzo talk about anything he likes.
Yeah, well, I can. He loves pop music.
Yeah, it's
But-
true.
Tiffany, she's just like nodding. She goes, "Oh, okay." I mean, totally would have been cool if it was. Just
I know.
She-
Your dad's enjoying the bachelor life.
oh, don't say bachelor life. But
Yeah, you didn't want to bring up this topic of your old man, did you? Having some regrets.
yeah, definitely. But she
Now ask
then
her if she's living. If she has a boyfriend.
she goes, "Oh," yeah, there's a little bit of regret." But then she does go and give you a big hug, and she's like, "Not to come visit though."
It's good seeing you guys.
And she goes and gets into the car, and you can wait for Hanzo. So while that was going on, Hanzo, Kenzaki kind of like this. Kenzaki, yeah. Problem with me making two characters that are working together have similar sounding names.
It is inevitable in our group.
Yeah, Kenzaki's just kind of quietly smoking as he watches Fred and the kids walk off. Seems like a nice man, and nice kids. And he's in Japan. He goes, "Well, that didn't stop you before, now, did it?"
He's gonna reach into his coat pocket, and pull out
There-
pull out his flask.
Yeah, when you reach into your thing, there is like a moment of tension, and you can see that instinctive, just like well trained hand just slightly reaches to his own concealed gun. You know,
Yeah.
that very familiar motion.
Yeah. He was instinctually reaching for the flask, and then he, that kind of occurs to him. It's like, oh right, yeah. So he'll do it much more slowly, deliberately. Just pull out the flask.
And he kind of doesn't, nods at that, but
Yeah, he just takes a very deep swig of it.
Hamasaki-san told me a little bit of why he thinks you left. Sloppy.
Yes. Sloppy. That's one way to put it. Messy is another. How soon should I expect your company?
No, don't make it sound like I'm gonna show up with a garrote and slice your neck when you're not looking. No,
No,
you're
but the
working for
guillotine is going to fall one way or another.
Perhaps. But one professional to another. I think you might have more value here than back home. Agent of pluripotent, that can be useful to us. Hamasaki will be in touch, and he takes one last thing of his cigarette, drag of it, puts it in the ashtray, and just kind of glances at you in case you wanted to say anything.
No, he's quietly evaluating the situation. There are a lot of gears turning in his head right now. He's trying not to say anything that, any more than he has to.
And he catches on to that and gives just like this curt just nod of like, I can respect that professionally. And he goes and heads and goes, enjoy the night. And he goes inside and he can rejoin Fred.
Yeah, he will do so.
God, I could cut that tension with a knife.
So, we're getting close to the end time, right? Puck an
Right.
hour.
Already?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the.
Goddamn.
Time flies
Been
when you're
having
having fun.
So, Fred and Hanzo, anything you wanted to touch up on before we switch to the others to wrap up for the night?
Notably, he does not turn on the pop music. It is a silent drive.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Alex, doesn't take him long before he's like snoring softly in the back seat. No. Probably for the best.
I can relate to that. The long night's drive home after a big meal.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely remember that. Always falling asleep in the car driving home from Grandma's house.
Lonnie's had a busy week, little guy.
Yeah. And so you're driving back Hanzo, you go to drop him off. And I think we can leave off with you guys there after that totally nice evening. What a wonderful dinner.
It's a nice,
Stress-free.
simple day. No monsters at all.
Yeah.
What? I guess you could even say it was an unforgettable luncheon.
Eh,
Not yet. The Simpsons hasn't gotten to that episode.
Yeah, they stole from
Yeah,
us.
That won't become like popular for years later. The episode, not
With
the
how
season.
long Simpsons has been going on, I was like, wait, did they start in '92?
They started when I was born. I mean, not exactly when I was born, but in 1989.
Yeah, I was like, they're older than I am.
They're
But-
just older than I am.
Yeah, I was born in June 1990. But two of you, Hanzo, you got to drop them off, and we'll see what your past catching up to you might lead to your future, or how it might affect your future. But the rest of you,
Yes.
Yeah.
Winifred has definitely found signs of something crawling, scrabbling up the side of the wall into a air vent, as well as suddenly smelling the scent of freshly spilled blood.
Yeah, we're getting in there.
Okay, and there is like a employee's access door.
Is it locked?
You go to try it.
Yeah.
You set off the mine. Nope, not really.
Shit.
No.
Tommy, I told you not to leave your grenade lying around.
I'm sorry, it gets lonely.
No, not this time. No, you try it, and yeah, it is unlocked.
All right. She twists the knob, looks back.
But when you open it, there is like a security chain, so it only opens a few inches.
Yeah, does that? All right. Takes out her fucking mallet.
Um,
And-
Good.
And
You have a mallet.
yeah, and tries to break the chain.
Okay.
She's trying not to be super loud, but you
Yeah.
got the.
I will say there are probably two individuals actually that might have three if you don't want to if you don't mind revealing magic to the agent, but you do have two people that have supernatural
Oh
strength.
yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
She that. She goes. Hey,
Winifred
Winifred, Tommy.
watched you start to try to do that, and she's like,
Yeah, she stops.
Yeah.
She stops. Looks back. Hey, can one of you just?
Yeah, whatever. You reach up, and it's very easy for you to just snap the chain. It's for a human, this would be a good way to stop it, but for you, it's just like a bit of effort, and you pop it out. You just push on that chain, and the door swings open. Which, God, I just suddenly remember memory as a kid. My mom getting home from work at night, and we had one of the the security chains in the apartment, and she just opens the door and it just pops off and swings open, and she just looks at it because I'm sitting at the table, and we both just look at it. And she goes, "Well, that's not very safe, is it?"
Nope. They aren't very effective.
Yeah, because like my mom's wasn't a very strong woman back then, so she's just like, oh. But in hindsight, I could just tell there was just this like depressed reaction to it. It's like, oh, of course.
Oh, I feel that.
Uh-huh. But so you push it open, and there are some lights. It looks like emergency lighting is on in this hallway. Dingy, but so it's not completely black.
Mhm.
But you do see what looks to be like where the main. You see a door that says like service floor or whatever it would be like for the drive-through portion of the car wash.
Mhm.
Because you do see what looks to be like light coming in, like bright fluorescent lighting, and you smell the blood from that chamber, but also you and Tommy would be able to smell just rich chemical aromas. Just it's awful. It smells like you're in a chemical factory.
Ugh.
Ooh.
And
Or
so
Yeah,
you see this door leading into it, but you don't see anything else in this room. It just looks like
Yeah.
back offices.
Well, I'm gonna go where I
Um,
smell the blood coming from. So
yeah, Tommy is gonna go there as well.
And you hear a click of a gun's hammer. You see Johanna, not Johanna, she steps out and pulls her gun out from inside her jacket.
It literally
Same.
looks like blinks like, oh yeah, to herself, and she pulls hers out.
Yeah, it's the same model that Hanzo would have. Clearly, pluripotent issue, but
Yeah.
um, who wants to go first or try to sneak in?
If no one else wants to, I will.
I mean, Winifred's already moving over there, and she's.
And then just Winifred.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you gonna try to peek in, or are you kicking the door down, guns blazing?
If there's any way for me to peek in before I have to kick the door open, I will.
It is shut, but it is not locked. Like you touch the door handle gently. It's not locked, so you can peek in if you want. Crack it a bit, but there's no like window into it, or when you try to like glance down at the floor, like maybe underneath it, it's not a good angle. You see a little bit of like concrete floor and what looks to be like maybe some table legs, but it's a little too cluttered inside to really make out anything from that angle.
Okay. She's gonna look back at everybody and go, do you want me to be subtle about this, or should we just get on with it?
Here, let me and you both go in first. Yeah. Whatever. Fuck. So she'll kind of move to the other side of the door. Just not see you. Like she's gonna follow your lead.
Okay. I don't care which way this door swings. I'm gonna kick it inwards.
Okay. So you kick it in. It's not going to require it act under pressure or anything. You're strong enough, even if it would, slightly open it and then kick it open, and it just swings in, banging against the wall. And inside, we're going to leave off after I describe what you see. But inside, you see what looks to have been fairly easy to guess why it smells so chemically caustic in here, as you seem to have stumbled upon what looks to have been a burgeoning drug lab.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
It's not like super complex, and you actually see like there are boxes that look like that have stuff being unloaded. It looks like this is being set up recently, but as you glance around, you see like chemistry apparatus. You see burners. You see some suspicious packages on one, stuck, out of a partially open duffel bag. But what really draws your attention, though, is when the door swings open, you hear the startled skittering of claws against concrete as you see something dark, a pair of things suddenly scatter as if caught, startled from being caught in the middle of a crime, which you realize they were as you look and see a pair of people not far from each other laying in expanding pools of blood, mangled and bloodied. As Winifred, you and Johanna were the first ones to see this, as dashing away from their bodies, skittering on 8 legs, 2 pincers held high in front of it, and an arcing tail curling above it. You see these 2 strange scorpion-like creatures, not scorplodytes, definitely similar, go dashing across and dart into the clutter of the tables and equipment scattered around this former car wash. And that's where we'll leave off with that stinger.
Oh.